Here's a way to get some of the greatest content on the internet and then tailor it specifically to your audience so that it's unique and also tailored to your audience. A good way to start is always to tell it your goal. You see, I'm telling the goal and then a bigger goal. Your goal's not always the big enough goal. There's always an overarching goal. Then you tell it the strategy, what you're trying to do exactly, and tell it who your audience is. That way it'll take a good approach. So I told it about a bunch of different people within my audience there. And now finally I'm telling it what to do. As part of my strategy that I'm using ChatGPT to help me carry out, I'm going to take inspirational quotes, and every time I do, it's going to revise them and relate them to one of the subject areas that is of interest to my audience. I don't even have to do this part. I already told it my audience. It could figure that out itself. But I'm being kind of a perfectionist. I tell it some other stuff that's on my mind, whatever I think of. Hold down the shift key and hit new line and okay. Now I've made that clear. And I got him ready and told it, okay, I'm gonna paste a quote in my next prompt and have it do its thing. It tells me it's ready, and for each quote, it's gonna give me 5 revised versions, all tailored to some part of my audience, which is people in grad school, people trying to advance in their careers, people in nursing school. This is another inspirational quote. It's this thing about how to correctly apologize for something. And ChatGPT is great for this. ChatGPT, at the time I'm making this video, is not great for everything, but it's great for some things. And what's it doing here? It's randomly asking me to tell it which one of these I like better. So I'm going to choose the one that looks more concise and authentic, which is the one on the left, I believe. So here we are, still getting 5 revised, improved responses for each quote I give. Here's one: the biggest transformative experience won't happen when things are going well. It happens when things are going badly. And it gives me 5 revised versions based on my instructions, 5 versions tailored to the interests or expressed in some way that relates to the interests of my audience. My audience is adults going back to school, people in healthcare, people who are trying to advance in their careers. And so now I'm asking it, okay, can we do the same thing, but this time, instead of inspirational quotes, it's going to be pro tips. I go to a subreddit with pro tips, like life pro tips, and try to get the top life pro tips from this year or from all time. If I need ideas, then I can get great pro tips from Reddit and other places. Or when I come up with ideas that I want to share, I can still use this method and ask for ChatGPT to give me 5 new versions tailored to the specific audiences that I want to target with my brand. Now, I'm a freelancer. I'm trying to get hired by all these kinds of people. But if you're a professional who's looking for job opportunities, you're not a self-employed freelancer, then your audience is going to be people within your professional field. You're going to brand yourself on LinkedIn by appealing to an audience of your colleagues and especially people interested in any area of specialization that you are choosing, any area of special interest within your field. This is the stuff that you should post about, and that's how you know what your audience is, the people interested in the same stuff you're interested in. And then if you have a job where you are involved with your local community, the city, then It's good if you have a brand that also shows you being involved with your local community, because as a professional person trying to get job opportunities, you want to brand yourself as an overachiever, as somebody who has a lot of, see there, I found this on Reddit, the pro tip from Reddit. You want to show that you're an overachiever, and part of that is being involved with your local community. Being an overachiever means you're extremely effective, and also you care. You believe in making a difference. Those two things are what make a good person for an employer to hire. So when you brand yourself, it's like this. You think about your audience, people interested in the same stuff you're interested in. And now in the next video, I'll show you how to take one of these. We're going to get rid of most of the options that ChatGPT gave us. We asked it for 5 different revisions for each quote or pro tip we pasted, and now we're only going to use maybe 2 or 3 of the best ones. Below this video, you can see a link to my other content, and you can see a link to another video that follows this one, where we can grab one of these pro tips or inspirational quotes and use it to make something cool that your audience will engage with, that you can share on LinkedIn and other social media that you use for your career branding. Thank you for watching.